Hello and welcome to Take on Tech. This is your number one tech show, and of course, we keep you updated on all matters technology. Now, February 7th was World Safe Internet Day, and we visited an event that was happening at the Global Partnership Hub, and we have so much content for you. Grace Githaiga will also be bringing very informative interviews coming up in not too long. But first, we'll be bringing you tech news, tech of the week, and so much more. Remember, the hashtag to use is Tech on Tech at KBC Channel 1. My personal handle is at Stephanie Ayeta. Question of the day today, we want to ask you, what is your understanding of safe internet? Talk to us because people have different understanding of this. We want to know yours. Talk to us at KBC Channel 1 using the hashtag Take on Tech. For tech news, Take on Tech went to an event hosted during the Safe Internet Day at the Global Partnership Hub, and this is what we have for you, information to enlighten you all about safe internet. Check it out. This year's World Safer Internet Day marked on 7th February, so various stakeholders and contributors from the media sector come together to discuss the role of women journalists in creating a safer internet and the challenges they face in digital spaces and their impact on their work. The ladies in attendance spoke of their experience with online harassment, with an overarching theme being that women journalists are sexualized in a manner that is not connected to their work performance or qualification. This is also common with female politicians in Kenya. Online harassment of women is not a Kenyan phenomenon, but also a global problem. In general, women who stick their necks out are prime targets, be it politicians, journalists, celebrities and influencers, human rights defenders and activists. According to an Amnesty report, 61% of girls and women who have been harassed online suffer loss of self-esteem and self-confidence. 55% experience stress and anxiety, and 41% feared for their physical safety. Whether a target or a witness of online gender-based violence, it is a chilling effect and can discourage political and other ambitions of young girls and lower their participation in political life both online and offline. Grace Githaiga, who was part of the panelists, said that all of us have a responsibility to use the internet, use it productively and in a responsible way, alleging to the fact that whether or not there is bullying in this space, the women should still carry out their mandate and let their voice be heard as long as they're using it for a good cause. Policy, a feminist organization that advocates for policies that support an enabling data ecosystem, mentioned that they have created spaces for psychosocial support for women affected by cyberbullying. The executive director of Association of Media Women in Kenya spoke on the importance of understanding the target audience in different social media platforms and sharing the appropriate content to suit that audience. Cecilia Maundu, a digital rights activist, touched on the need to have a social media detox as a way of dealing with the pressure that comes from being an active social media user, saying that the most connected generation is the loneliest generation. Hence, the need for people to create time to spend bonding with family and friends outside the internet. Across the tech industry, at firms like Twitter, Meta, Coinbase, and Snap, workers have announced that they are seeking new opportunities. Worldwide, more than 120,000 jobs have been lost, according to Layoffs FYI website, which tracks tech job cuts. Different firms cut employees for different reasons, but there are common themes. As the world moved online during the pandemic, the tech giants' businesses boomed and executives believed the good times for them would continue to roll. Meta, for example, took on more than 15,000 people in the first 9 months of this year. Now, executives announcing cuts have said they miscalculated. Online adverts are the chief source of income for many tech firms, but for the advertising businesses, dark clouds have been gathering. Firms have faced growing opposition to intrusive advertising practices. For example, Apple made it harder to track people's online activity and sell that data to advertisers. In the financial technology sector, rising interest rates have also hit companies. Amazon attributed its job cuts to an unusual and uncertain microeconomic environment, forcing it to prioritize on what matters most to customers. Amazon proposed 10,000 job cuts in corporate and technology roles. Its biggest such reduction to date represents only 3% of its office staff. And the layoffs may also be the start of businesses as talented staff dumped by the big firms join or create startups. That is tech news. It reminds me of the question we have asked you today, which is, what is your understanding of safe internet? Talk to us at KBC Channel 1 using the hashtag TakeOnTech. And while you're at it, we want to break the ice with our tech feature. We bring you a feature of an interesting technology that has been invented in the US and UK, set to be launched this year. In fact, early this year. This is a smart punching bag with brains. Check it out. Bout, a new heavy bag, is said to be the world's first artificial intelligence-enabled punching bag, soon to be launched in the UK and US. 6 years in design and development, the new AI punch bag's body is multi-layered with a core composed of 85% water to avoid the risk of injury. The outside of the bag is made from organic material, that is, artificial skin made from cactus leaves. As for functionality, the bag is based on video games and made up of colors and music, aimed at each type of training and intensity, which helps to improve the player's motivation. It can even match your fight intensity to your mood. The punching bag's ecosystem offers gamified fitness and enables users to keep fit, compete, and earn in-app tokens and rewards. Players can virtually compete against themselves or each other. The company claims that people can also become trainers and earn in-app currency from the community. How this works is yet to be revealed or explained. The bag's technology provides a platform for people to improve coordination and speed through boxing. It allows a 180-degree rotation so that exercisers can perform all sorts of strength training exercises. The sensors calculate the power and location of each strike and transmit this information to the bag's brain precisely. A limited release of the bags are to be launched in the UK and US early this year. We wait to see when it will come to Kenya. We now move on to the interview segment where Grace Kithaiga, together with her guest, will be talking about World Safe Internet Day. So what exactly is safe internet? How did it come about? And are there laws in Kenya protecting Kenyans online? We get to hear all that in Tech Talk. Here it goes.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for that introduction of the interview section of TakeOnTech. Today, we come to you from the Global Partnership Hub from Nairobi, and we are talking about a World Safer Internet Day. So what is this day all about? We'll be talking to Irene Mwendwa from Policy, and she'll be telling us more about what this day is all about.
Hello, and my name is Irene Mwendwa. I work for an organization called Policy with double L, as you can see on my shirt, and we work on the intersections of data and technology. And we use different methodologies to put out our work, and our biggest approach is research. And the research that we do, we use we look at gender perspectives on data governance and technology in Africa, and we look at how African women and girls are integrated into the technology and data ecosystems so that it is not extractive, so that it is useful and meaningful for African women and girls. The Safer Internet Day is commemorated every year on 7th February. It was begun in 2004 by a project by the European Union Safe Borders Project, where they felt it was important to bring the world together to recognize that a safer internet for all will be useful and will be important for us to thrive as a people. And Policy was commemorating this day with its Kenya partners, who are media partners who work on broadcast media and different forms of digital media. That's the Association of Media Women Association in Kenya, the IWAT Kenya chapter, supported by MIDAN and APC, that's the Association of Progressive Communications, together with other individual independent journalists. Today we are trying to commemorate the role of journalists in Kenya, the role of women journalists in Kenya in the digital transformation space. Owing to the fact that the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, was able to declare that he wants Kenya to advance digitally. It is important to celebrate it because we will add the Kenyan voice, we will add the African voice, and we will be also able to showcase what fellow Kenyans have been able to innovate in the tech space. And the theme for this year is Together for a Better Internet, which is a clarion call for everyone to understand their position and role to ensure that the internet remains safe for everyone. You can imagine, as a policy maker, an elected official, your work is to ensure we have better policies when it comes to technology and data. When it comes to journalists and the media profession, it's important for them to showcase using stories and real-life experiences of women and girls and how they use the internet today. We know many people who have been able to experience economic empowerment out of using different social media and digital tools for their work today. And we know that we're experiencing a wake of digital transformation in our government itself, where most of our services are about to be digitized, and we'll just be using our handheld devices, our phones or our laptops or our smart devices to access most of the government services. So it is important to have the Pan-African and Kenyan experience in celebrating this day, so that we can be able to contribute our own localized experience. And it's also important to share in our own national languages, such as Swahili and our mother tongue, so that these languages can also find themselves online and people can understand this from when they look back into the history. So at Policy, because we approach these issues using research, we have been able to do a lot or extensive research that has found that a lot of innovation come from the global north. A lot of innovations and ideas are also exist in Kenya and in other parts of Africa. It's important that first, most of these tech companies that we associate with and we use hire Africans, hire Kenyans, hire locally, so that Kenyans and Africans can include the Pan-African feel into these platforms. You're able to feel like it's been developed by your own brother or your own sister, which of course is a wonderful thing. The other thing that I would add about the Safer Internet Day is to ensure that when you're using digital platforms, when you're using your smart devices, use them well. Use them to benefit you and not to cause harm to others. Because in life, we are all going through so many different issues. It's really important that we understand that everyone's journey is unique, and we do not need to cause harm while we're engaging online and while we're engaging with these digital tools.
Tech on Tech, the interview section, takes a short break. welcome back to the interview section of Take on Tech, in which we are discussing about a safer Internet Day with Irene Mwendwa.
Mechanisms that exist are many. The first and foremost that I can speak of is actually taking self-training online. There are so many available courses on how to protect yourself online, and they are free. The same way we watch WhatsApp status is the same way you can take the course. I like to use that example because many people can say, I don't have bundles, but you watch your WhatsApp status, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook. Same way you share messages, the same way you can take the online course. There's short and simple. I remember Amwik recently launched a comic strip that speaks on cyber hygiene. That's enough learning on how to keep safe online. But there are the basics that we all must adhere to, such as, of course, changing our passwords frequently and ensuring that we have characters, different symbols when we are putting out our passwords, and then not sharing our information with anyone, especially many people in who use cyber cafes, which are public entities. Ensure that you delete everything after you have used this computer. Ensure that you have logged out of the browser and not just logging out and ensuring you've logged out of the session. The other immediate thing I can think of, especially for women, when you're sharing images online, please remember that every information you put out, even if you delete, there is a mark that has been left. So it's important to know which images you're sharing of yourself, both men and women actually. And then immediately I can think of for individuals when it comes to online engagements. When you're debating online, you can debate very soberly without insults. You can debate without causing harm to other people. So it's important to also do a bit of background while you engage in debate and use language that everyone else can accommodate. The existing laws of Kenya currently, we have the Data Protection Act, commonly known as the DPA. This is one of the most crucial and the best starting point for protecting yourself. But of course, our primary law, which continue to protect everyone in Kenya, even in the event of non-existent laws, is the Constitution of Kenya, which promotes for the freedom of expression and the right to, of course, to express oneself. So it's important for people to use the laws that exist, such as the Data Protection Act and the Constitution, together with other acts, really, like the Evidence Act. When you insult someone online, some of this, if someone has a screenshot, then they'll be able to use that in the court of law, really, to be able to seek redress. And for many entities who are now collecting data of for different uses, they are required, as we know, to be registered by the Data Protection, the Commission of the Office of the Data Protection. So it's important to keep abreast of these laws so that you can be able to seek recourse when you find yourself receiving any harms online. I believe, to be quite honest, I believe it's a matter of the enforcement and a matter of capacity strengthening of our different stakeholders from the security forces themselves. If they understand from the Office of the Data Protection how the Data Protection Act is supposed to work, the full effect of the law will be felt. If the judiciary, the judicial officers, our judges, our clerks, our magistrates are well trained on the Data Protection Act, they'll be able to effectively read and use that in their rulings, and the implementation of it will be quite clear because the Constitution as the primary law promotes for the protection of individuals online. My call to action, it's important that women continue to use different digital and social media platforms, because this way they build their digital resilience, and from this they can be able to learn through education online. They can be able to get different economic opportunities online, and they can be able to empower themselves and their communities beyond the ordinary ways of economic empowerment, that you have to sell your wares physically, you have to show people how to cook physically. You can open a YouTube page, you can open an Instagram page and show people your work, and this way you're able to empower yourself economically.
That's it from us, from our interview section of Take on Tech, in which we have discussed the issue of a safer World Internet Day. Please continue following us on our social media handles, and that's at KBC Channel 1 via all media handles. Keep watching.
That has been Tech Talk with Grace Githaga. We still want to know your perception or your understanding of safe internet. Talk to us at KBC Channel 1. The hashtag to use is Take on Tech. And now we move on to the Innovators Club, and today we have a DIY hack for you which you can try at home, and later on tell us how that went. Check it out. We have now come to the end of today's show, which has been about safe internet, which is also the question of the day, where we're asking you, what is your understanding of a safe internet, even with the understanding that you have gotten from the interviews and the stories we have covered. Talk to us using the hashtag TakeOnTech at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me on my social handles at Stephanie_Ayeta across all social media handles. We meet next week, same time, same place. Until then, let's keep it tech. Adios.